let me do some riffing on this. Folks, go back. Remember, back in the 1950s, a lot of conservatives objecting to the bipartisan legislative fact that FDR's New Deal was going to remain in place. All right? Conservatives used to talk about creeping socialism. President Eisenhower, who represented the moderate to liberal wing of the Eastern establishment GOP, made no effort during his 2 terms to roll back the New Deal. The Robert Taft faction objected strenuously, but the Eisenhower forces always carried the day. This included, by the way, the 91% income tax rate that Ike would never cut. It was left to Democrat JFK to take the first supply-side steps and slash the top rate from 91 to 70%. And 20 years later, Reagan took it down to 28%. Please see my book, JFK and the Reagan Revolution, still available on important websites and bookstores, but I digress. Now, the point of all this is we've come a long way. The size and scope of government today is monumentally larger than FDR's New Deal. And under Joe Biden's big government socialism, it has gotten even bigger. And under the Green New Deal, for starters, although it's extending way beyond climate change and the war against fossil fuels, it's really been across the board. The original sponsors of the Green New Deal, which is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ed Markey, now they've come back with a brand new legislative proposal, which I am calling Green New Deal 2. This is not creeping socialism. This is galloping socialism. And I can't wait for Joe Biden to start promoting it. Under the guise of climate policy, the Green New Deal 2 would completely socialize and nationalize our healthcare sector, which unfortunately was partly nationalized under Obama's Affordable Care Act, which the GOP never rolled back. The Green New Deal 2, AOC and Markey twins are all very worried, listen to this, about the physical, mental, and behavioral health consequences of climate change. Got it? They're especially concerned about the carbon footprint of the healthcare industry. Really? They've set up something called the Office of Climate and Health Equity. And that includes individuals who are disproportionately affected by climate change. Now, you ready for this? Individuals disproportionately affected are defined by a laundry list of social justice, diversity, equity, and inclusion type criteria. You only get help from Uncle Sam if you're under 5 years old or over 65, and you have to qualify for something called gender minority status. Really? Also, your immigration status. Also, your race and ethnicity status. And don't forget, the last one, quote, your experience of racial bias, end quote. Now, if you're a heterosexual white male over 5 but under 66, you're out of luck. You're exempt from any of these Green New Deal 2 benefits. And the benefits are going to be money, lots and lots of money. Under the AOC Markey bill, which will completely nationalize the entire pharmaceutical industry, as well as the healthcare industry in general. By the way, I got to give a big hat tip to Mr. Justin Haskins of the Heartland Institute for pointing all this stuff out on Fox Digital. Please go and read it. Incidentally, don't forget, the first AOC Markey bill, the first one, that was priced at just under $100 trillion. $100 trillion. That's bigger than the New Deal. FDR never thought about $100 trillion. Now, I haven't seen a cost benefit of the new bill, but of course, it's central planning socialism on a very grand scale. Now, you'll probably say, this will never happen in America. And I would probably say, never, never, never. But then again, just look at the Obama years and the Biden years. Stuff happened we didn't think was possible. So I will conclude by saying, save America. Kill this bill.